My friends, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to do a chit chat / tutorial because I can never just do one or the other. And today I'm going to be using the Emily Edit The Needs, and this, my friends, is right up my alley. It's like she said, let me make a palette for Tammy. And it's gorgeous, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Make sure you're paying attention during the video because I have a couple of announcements right up until the end of the video. So let's get started. Okay, so I have already primed my eyes, and this time I'm using a sample of the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the anti-aging formula. And today we are going to do a tutorial using the Emily Edit The Needs. And it looks, I just got these in the mail. It took about 4 days. I ordered them from the Revolution site, and I would say it took about 4 days for me to get them. So, and this is what the palette looks like. I'm sure you've seen it a million times on YouTube already, but I thought I would go ahead and give this one a try, and I'm going to try to work with this one on its own. And if I need any extra colors, I will go into the Wants palette by Emily. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go into this palette, and I am going to pick up Love as my first color. It's just a neutral. It does look like it has a little bit of yellow undertone, which will work really well with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and pack that on, and I'm using a MAC brush. Everything will be listed and linked below for you. Okay, so I have put Love on both eyelids, and before I go any further, I want to show what tape I'm using. I use the Nexcare. I have 2 different rolls of it. This is the paper, which I really like, and it is the Gentle Paper Tape by Nexcare. The other one that I use a lot is also by Nexcare, and this is the Flexible Clear. It doesn't matter which one you get. I touch both of them on my hand first, and then I apply them to my eyes. And they just help give us aging women whose eyes are drooping down a nice guideline to keep the makeup look going up. We always want our eyes going up, because if you drag down even just the slightest on the corners, you're going to bring your eyes down, which will age us. And everything's already sagging, so why do we want to go there, okay? So there is that, because so many people have actually asked. Now I'm going to play around. I know these are in the palette as the eyeshadow, but some of these colors here are really beautiful as far as using for transition shades. So I may go in with Joy as a transition, and I'm going to probably lean a little bit towards fall today, but because I'm in that kind of mood. And I will tell you that our weather today, it has been oppressive here. Oppressive. This is going to be a chit chat in case I didn't tell you. It has been oppressive. I mean, you go outside and it's like you are slapped in the face with a hot sweater. It is unbelievable. The dogs do not even like being out, my doodles. Today, go look at my Instagram. They were diggers today, and they were loving life. So I'm going to go into Joy, and I'm just going to load up my brush. This is the number 13 by Tom Ford, but you could use your Morphe brushes, your M40, any nice brush that you have that works for you. Okay. Now, but for today, I'm going to go ahead with the Tom Ford because this works well for me, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just start a transition with this color, which is perfect for me. Okay, so you can see I'm just building that up, and I'm taking small amounts of it on the brush, and I'm going in and I'm just working. I'm layering, layer, layer, layer. This is not going to be a tutorial, Tammy. This is a chit chat. All right, but anyway, I like to give you a little idea what I'm doing, but it's the same as most of my videos. Layering and blending is the most important thing, especially for an aging eye. And most of your color will sit in the crease line, and then you can lightly feather all of that up if you like. Especially if you have a hooded eye, you're going to want to lift up in this area so that you actually give yourself more lid space. And then I'm just going to take another brush, and this is my Sephora. I love these Sephora Pro brushes, and this is the number 38, and I'm just going to lightly feather on the edge of the crease color, transition color that I use. I'm not bothering with the crease. Okay. Of course, I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. So while I'm doing that, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that are coming up. If you've been paying attention to my subscribers, I am about, I'm a little over 3,000 short of 100,000. It has seemed like forever for me to get there. I don't know how some people just fly to it and others that put just as much into their channel don't. It's just, I don't know how it happens, but it has seemed like forever for me. And I'm very excited about hitting 100,000. And I have been thinking about a name change on my channel for a while now, because when I created my channel, I wanted to name it other things and they were already taken. So I settled on Uppy's Beads 59. And if you've been with me a long time, you know that Uppy's comes from my nephew. He called me Uppy. I used to say, "You want to come Uppy?" And he grew up thinking my name was Uppy, not Aunt Tammy. So I thought that would be really, really cute. So I went ahead. And I really like this color, and these are blending beautifully. They really are. So anyway, beads is because at the time I started my channel, I was still designing jewelry. And so I just thought, oh, I'll just use beads. And then, of course, I was born in 1959, so that's how my name came to be. But as I think about it, my name really has nothing to do with what. So I have been thinking, and I had posted on Instagram, and then I removed it. Lou was giving me some suggestions, and he said, well, why not like Tammy Bardot or Tammy Monroe? And you know, some were thinking, oh, you can't name yourself after a dead person or this and that. And that wasn't really what he was thinking. He was thinking more Hollywood glam. And I thought, yeah, but that only focuses on the makeup part of it. So I'm thinking of, and maybe a little feedback, I pretty much settled on two, and it will be either Tammy's Ageless Beauty or just Ageless Beauty. And one of my subscribers had suggested Tammy's Beauty Talk. So my name will change on my channel, and I'm also planning a very big giveaway. So continue to comment and subscribe, because when I hit 100,000, there is going to be a beautiful giveaway, and I'm planning on 3. So just stay tuned for all of that. But, you know, I mean, I know some people will have a hard time adjusting to change. Only a few people have had a hard time adjusting to the black behind me. And I like the black a lot because I feel that everything I'm trying to show you is front and center now in my videos. There's no distractions. Even though at time I may change the backing to maybe red at Christmas time or a beautiful royal blue, but I think it will always remain a deeper tone and darker and solid, okay? So thank you for those of you who have a hard time adjusting to change, for accepting the change that I need to go through, okay? All right, so enough babbling about that. So now I'm gonna go in, and I think I'm gonna pick up some of this beautiful Faith color. And it is just a really pretty color. Okay, so I'm gonna take that smaller brush now because I want to focus this color really into the crease area. So I'm just going to load this brush up lightly, tap it off, and now I'm going to stay right in the deep part of the crease, okay? And we're just going to move back and forth. So I've just placed that color right in the crease. It's really beautiful. So now I think I'm going to pick up some of the, let me see, which one do I want to go into? I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Joy now, the first color that I went into with my crease, and I'm just going to take a small shader brush, and this is by Real Techniques, and I'm just going to take this color and I want to bring this down a little bit onto the lid, and I'm just going to pat a small amount right to the center and the inner eye. I'm not really worrying about the outer, and that's just to take some of that cream tone down. My eyes do better when it's not so vivid white there. Okay, so we're just going to do that back and forth here. And now I'm just going to take my clean blender, and I just want to soften the line in the crease now. And I'm just going to soften that edge that you see from the second color, but I'm not carrying that way up, okay? And same thing on this side, just want to soften that edge. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to take Hope, okay? And this is a flat, this is the Sephora Pro Smudge Brush, and this is number 11. So I'm going to pick up some of that brown, and I want to start just a guideline in the corner here, And we're going to really smoke that out on the corner here. I'm making a really strong V in that corner, flaring it out. And I want to bring it up into the crease, outer crease area. And I'm bringing it, see how it's a very strong V? I'll make it really strong and then I'll blend it out, okay? So it's really, really strong on the corner. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, okay? All right, so you see how strong it is? It's going to blend down though, and then I'm going to use another color with it. But I really wanted to make sure they're even. So look at yourself straight on and really, and that's where the tape comes in so. It's such a nice tool to use when you're have an aging eye. I'm going to take that clean blender now, and this is where I'm going to soften it. And I really want to soften that edge because you don't want to see that harsh edge. You want to see the difference of color, but not that hard edge. So I am going to sweep right over the tape, and I'm almost blending that right out. Okay, you see how that's softened down and compared to this side? So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm not moving up or down, I'm just going back and forth on that, really softening that edge. Okay? And then look at yourself straight on and you'll see where you need to lift a little color. Okay, so I'm going to take a little fluffy brush now and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that color and I'm really going to blend it right here. These are, you know, it's funny because fall my makeup looks change from summer. And this is going to definitely lean into fall. Okay, so I want to make sure that I really have a smooth application. So let's see. Okay, so this is really a pretty look, but I think it needs a little pop of something. So I'm going to take a little bit of this Honesty, which is kind of a really, it's a pretty burnt orange, but it to me has just a hint of rose undertone in it. And so I'm going to take the smaller brush that I was working with and I'm going to pick up some of that color and I'm going to feed that right here on the edge. Okay, and it's actually not coming towards the pupil, it's just on the edge, but it's not taking up the darkness in the corner. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And when I take this tape off, everything will look better, my friends, you know that. Okay, so this eye, I have a hard time, this is where my contacts are really messing me up. Because when I do this, this eye is focused to do really at a distance, so I can't really see this eye, so I'm fudging it, my friends. I'm just pretending I can see what I'm doing, but I really can't, okay? Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. I just want to just lightly sweep and clean up. Now, a lot of your time when applying makeup should be in the blending, okay? So I take a little extra time. Now see, I need a little bit more of the first color I worked with. When I'm looking straight on, I need to just take a little bit of that Joy. Let me get my Tom Ford Fluffy here. I'm going to take a little bit of that Joy, and I can see it's just slightly, it needs to be blended just slightly right here. Okay? It's really important to just look at yourself straight on, and it will really help you out. Okay, so let's pull this off, and you'll see how easy the tape comes off. And look at that beautiful edge you get. You get a really fabulous edge. Now, I try to bring it down, and I leave, when I put the tape on, I leave a little bit of space so that when I join underneath the eyes, it goes right into the tape line. Okay, so that's important when you're applying your tape, is to have it even and to leave a little bit of space if you're somebody who wants to join the outer edge. You could actually do it while I'll show you. You could do this while you have the tape on. You would just hold it and then go like so, and you have it all lined up perfectly. So when I take this off, the outer part of the eye is already joining in. I have a guideline here, so I can just work from there now, okay? All right, so now I'm just going to take a little bit of a white, just in case there's any fallout. I can see just a little bit. So I'm going to take this, and this is just a Burt's Bee, and I'm going to lightly, because I don't want to wipe off anything you know, my skincare or anything like that. And there was hardly any fallout from that. So I like that. Excuse me. Of course, when you're working with a satin or a shimmer, you will get a little more fallout, and that's with every brand. High brand, middle range, and drugstore. It's gonna happen. Okay, so I'm gonna go with a very sheer look today with my face. So I wanna start with my Hangover. This is by Too Faced. It's my primer. Okay, so now I have gone ahead and I put the primer on. Okay, so I'm going for a very sheer look, but I want to have a nice glow because everything on my eye is matte. So I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, and I wear number 3, okay? I think I ordered number 4 just to see how it was for me. And I'm going to just put it on my cheekbones, a little on my chin, a little right here, a bit on the higher upper part of my nose, and then just a V in the center of my forehead. I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to rub it into the high points of my face. I don't do the bulb of my nose because I don't need the bulb of my nose looking bigger. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the center of my forehead. And I want to make sure that I'm massaging this in well. And then, of course, the other side. Chin. And right above the lip and in between. Okay, so now I have my Charlotte Tilbury in place, and I am going to go, as I mentioned, with a very lightweight look. So I'm going to use some of my Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, and this is the Lightweight Flawless Cover Laura Mercier Sand, okay? So I'm going to take a squirt of it in my hands, and I use probably a dime size of this, and then I'm going to massage it into my fingertips, and I'm going to go ahead and pat it on my face first just to make sure I get an application of it everywhere. And then I'm going to go ahead and just massage it in, okay? And I do run down my neck slightly, and some of you were asking me what that product was that I was talking about that gives you an immediate facelift that I saw Cher using, and a lot of Hollywood uses, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to do a video on them. I have to see if they're still available and where I got them from, because I don't want to show you something and not know where I got it from. So just that video will be coming, and it is it's amazing how it works. It really is. I haven't tried it on me, but I've seen pictures before and after of people who have used it, and it's really, really amazing. Okay, so I go ahead and I just pat this all in, and that'll take out any streak marks. This is very light coverage. It's not going to give you a whole lot of coverage. So if you're a woman that needs a lot of coverage, this is not the answer. This is for just a fresh... My camera turned off on me. So all I was saying was, I don't remember what I was saying. So we're going to move on, my friends. Okay, I'm going to use this Revolution palette that I used the other day when I used Emily's The Wants. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back into the peach tone in this palette. And you can get this online. This is a great little kit to have if you need some camouflaging. This is their Correct and Perfect, but I did like this. It really did work, and it's very, very lightweight, so it really did not accentuate my wrinkles that much. But you can see when I put it on, it really does make a difference. Now, usually when I use a peach undertone, I will still use a concealer. I find with this one, I really don't have to because the peach is very, very subtle. Now, most of my wrinkles are right in here, so I really press into that so that I'm filling those lines in, because you don't want to leave those without product, because if it separates, you're going to see your lines even more. So that is what that looks like. And I found this one at Marshall's for $3.99. But like I said, you can get this kit in different skin tones. They have it for darker skin also. The only thing I can say is it doesn't do a fabulous job at covering up my veins here where I look bruised all the time. It never really comes across on camera, the bruising. Every now and then I'll catch it and say, oh, look, there's my veins. But I am really blue throughout the outer part. I mean, I don't know if you can see it on this side. It really does have a bruised look to it. It runs all the way up the side. Anyway, this little kit is really, it's worth looking into. I mean, if you're somebody that's, especially if you're on a budget, and you really do need products like this, just give it a try. It is much lighter in weight than other lines, but it still gets the job done. And like I said, right in here is where I get all my wrinkles, so I try to move it around and really work it with the warmth of my hand to fill that in, because nobody needs that accentuated, okay? All right, so here we go. And you know, some of you were asking if I was ever a model. I did. My mother, actually, before my mother died, it's like she knew. And she just started going through things, and she had some modeling pictures. I did modeling. I went to New York, and I was not comfortable because I was always selected for lingerie, bras, underwear, and I was never really comfortable with that. I did one runway show, and I remember Al Jarreau was the singer. Do you remember Al Jarreau? Years ago. I don't even know if he's still alive. But I was in Manhattan once for some print work and runway. And I found out at that point that I was not, even though I sit here before you, I was not really comfortable being in front of the camera. But I loved being behind, teaching other girls how to walk the runway, how to pose in pictures, and also I was the makeup artist for several of our photographers here for print work, runway work, portfolios. I worked with a lot of our news anchors. They have their promotional headshots that they need to do. I worked with a lot of them doing that, and I really do wish I had my portfolio to show you, but I mentioned that I had a stalker, and at the time I lived in an apartment, and in the apartment, in the basement, I don't know if everybody understands what a basement is, because I know some states don't have basements, but it's like an underground room in your house, and I don't mean to insult anybody, but you know, we don't have a basement in Florida, and if I lived there my whole life, I might not know what a basement is. But anyway, we had storage units down there, and the laundry facility was also down there, and they were kept locked, and I had the key. But so I kept all of my albums. I had a whole collection of albums. Every single singer that I absolutely adored, I had all their albums. I must have had every single album Cher and Barbra Streisand ever made. And they were all down there. I had 3 or 4 really big leather portfolios with all of my print work, all my makeup artistry work. And then I had my tennis racket and, you know, just a bunch of clothes and stuff like that down there. And I never even noticed them missing until, you know, that all happened to me. And the final straw was, I was getting ready for work, and I heard a noise outside my window, and I had a towel wrapped around me, and I thought it was a squirrel chewing on the wood or something, and I opened it up, and he was yanking my window open. It was the most, I have chills even talking about it. It was the most terrifying thing that has ever happened to me in my life. I screamed and immediately picked the phone up. I watched him run to his vehicle, so I knew his vehicle was light blue. And, you know, the police came, and long story short, I didn't mean to get into this. The police told me how they work, how a stalker works. At first, they watch you from a distance, and he used to watch me go into the convenience store and buy my Diet Pepsi and my Hostess cupcakes and stuff like that, because I used to eat Hostess donuts every day for breakfast and a Diet Pepsi. He saw me in there, and every day he was there. I never noticed him. And then one day, the guy that always checked me out, he said, "You have a secret admirer." And I didn't think anything of it because I thought, I don't crave the attention of men, and I never have. So I didn't think anything of it. I truly didn't. And the police told me that once they get past that looking at you, they need to then have something of yours. So they feel that he was the one that went in and stole all my stuff, including some of the clothing. I had comforters down there, like bed duvet covers, and he stole those. They think it was him. And anyway, so I don't have anything from my professional past, which really bothers me. I do have some models out in the world that have my work on them, but you know, so I can't really share any of my work with you. I wish I could. They did end up catching my stalker, by the way, and he was a married man with 2 small children. Anyway, let's get back to happier things and my tutorial. Okay, so now I have applied that and I need to warm it up again with my hands, because if I don't, I'm going to be setting the wrinkles with my powder, okay? So I'm going to use the Well People translucent powder that I found at Target the other day. The brush I'm using is the Max Coverage Concealer Brush by Bare Essentials, and I'm just going to tap some of that powder into the brush, working it in really well. And then I'm going to tap on the corrector concealer, and I'm just going to set it lightly. It's really important that you first take your hand and set that, warm it up so nothing is in the creases, because if you set it with the creases, you're going to set that big wrinkle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pack that on. And this is a very, very lightweight, nice powder. It is a little pricey even for Target, I think. I think it was like 20 something, $24 or something like that. I can't remember the price, but it was not a cheapie. It was not $11 or anything like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna touch that. Make sure that I have that set well, and I do. So now I want to keep the glow on my face. So today I'm going to use my La Mer powder, because the La Mer powder has just a hint of radiance to it, but not crazy so that an aging woman can't use it. I just load up my Sephora powder brush, and you could use a Real Technique powder brush. You can also use your La Mer powder brush. I don't find them to work any differently, the two of them. The Real Techniques doesn't work as well as the Sephora Pro or the La Mer brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that moisturizer. And if you don't have the La Mer powder, just find a powder that has a little subtle glow to it for you if you want to keep the glow on your face. Okay, so then I'm just going to brush down, because if we have any facial hair, we want to make sure that it's all down and not standing up. But I know all of my girls are taking that hair off their face, aren't you? With your dermaflash. Okay, all right, so there we have that. So now I'm going to finish up my eyes, and I'm going to go back into the palette, and I'm going to take a Real Technique, and this is just a really small little brush, and I'm going to go in with the Joy. The big first color, the peachier one that I use, I'm going to tap that off. There is a little bit that comes off the brush when you do it, but that does not bother me, because that's normal for most shadows. And I'm just going to smoke out that bottom, and I'm going all the way across with this color, and I'm joining up into the tape line, excuse me. And same thing on this side. Okay. And then I want to take the Hope, the deepest, and well, let's take a little bit of the Faith first, and we're just going to smudge that. And someone asked me, why 3 colors, why not just use 1 color? You can use 1 color. You can do anything you want with your eye look. I'm doing a tutorial, and there are many different types of looks. Sometimes I do very simple looks. Sometimes I do medium looks. And as of lately, I've been doing very dramatic looks, because we are all different, and there are so many women that like different looks. So I appeal to all. I'm trying to appeal to all. Now I'm taking the Hope, and I'm just going to really, now this is where, that's the same color that's in the outer edge, so I really want to join those two together, okay? And then we're gonna do this, and we're just joining it. Okay, so there is that. Now I'm gonna do a slight contour, so I'm gonna use the Kat Von D, and I'm going to use the center one. I'm gonna go in, this is a Thrive Cosmetic Highlighter brush, but I like the size of it to just add a little touch. You see that little touch? Just a little touch, and I'm going to angle it up slightly on the edge here, and then just feather it out. And that is the look you get, okay? So that when I turn, you see it's kind of popped my cheek up, okay? And that's just by angling up just slightly, okay? So I'm going to just go like this. And I bring it up only in the back part, okay? Not anywhere else. And we're just gonna feather that out. You wanna make sure that you have that really blended well. You don't wanna see just a streak of line on your face. And when you blend, you're only blending it up. You're not blending it down. You wanna leave this blank, okay? So there we have it, a little chiseling. And we'll take just a little bit of this. Now I'm sweating up here. So when I go to do my highlighting, it's gonna grab. Oh, the problems that we menopausal women have. You're not gonna find this in a young girl's tutorial. Okay, so I'm gonna change the brush because this is too dense for the moistness that's going on in my forehead. So I'm gonna take this MAC 137 brush. This is the brush that I used to apply that pink blush the other day. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just going to really tap it in and then give it a good tap. And I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of contour around my forehead. And believe me, the Charlotte Tilbury was not needed today. It's probably because I have a longer sleeve shirt on. Okay, all right, so here we go. We're just going to go that, and then we want to just tighten up that jawline slightly. I have a huge, and I'm talking huge haul coming up for you. Look at me glowing. Look at, I'm soaking wet, soaking wet. Oh, this is just too much, too much. I can't wait for this menopause to stop. So I'm gonna go in and try to do some blush. And I'm going to use, this is by Gucci. I haven't used this in a while. It's the Spicy Petal. It's perfect for this look because it's just going to add enough color and it's not going to overpower the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and use that same brush that I just used and I'm going to sweep back and forth. And the Gucci blushes are beautiful. They cost a little bit more, but any warm peach blush that you have will work. And I'm just going to tap it on. And it may catch a little because I'm sweating. This is just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. But you know what? I'm putting this up. I'm putting this tutorial up because this is real life, my friends. I know many of you go through this. All you have to do is wait it out, my friends. Notice I'm not going anywhere near my nose because I have like a puddle on both sides. And that's just the way it goes, but I am not cutting this out because we are in real time here. All right, so now I'm just going to lightly sweep this over my brow bone. And that is that. Now, so I'm going to use a pencil I haven't used in a long time. This is from Almay, and it's the Intense Eye color, and this is in Topaz. Just a beautiful, beautiful color. Now, this is one you wind up. And I'm going to tight line with this. Okay, so this is just a really nice topaz-y color. And I just rub it up against on the tight line. And you just get that type of look. You can see it really does intensify, okay? Of course I need my eyebrows on, but I'm going to go ahead and do my lips. And first I just take whatever powder is left over on the brush. And I'm going to work with Spice. Okay, so there's the Spice liner. I just lined the, my top lip, I just lined the lip. And the bottom lip, I just come down a little bit lower on the bottom. And I'm gonna try this. This is Bare It All by Wet n Wild. I've had this. It has a drier texture to it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. For me, that's a little dead. It's just a little dead. So I'm gonna touch it together, just to blend it. And then I'm going to take this Sephora, and this is called Tan Lines, and I'm just going to run this in the center because this is a little bit creamier. Okay? And that is my lip look for this. So I am going to go ahead off camera and I'm going to do my brows and put my mascara on and take my hair down, and I will be back to finish up with you. All right, my friends, I am back. Too hot for the hair to be down, so I just pulled it up in my little squirrel do. I did finish up using my Anastasia Brow Wiz in caramel and the brow gel in caramel, and I did my brows just a little bit thicker. And the mascara I have on today is not a favorite. I'm trying to finish things up, and those that I just absolutely despise, I just give away. This is the Estee Lauder Sumptuous Knockout Mascara. This is 3 coats of it. So I hope you have enjoyed the Emily Needs look. This is a beautiful, beautiful palette, and I love that it is all matte. There is a, I forgot to do this, so I'll go ahead and do it right now. Even though I did a glowy look, I'm going to just take my little fan brush. Well, I got a big one. I was looking for the smaller one. And there is a highlight in this, and it's called Gratitude. So I'm going to go ahead and sweep a little bit of that on. And I'm just going to sweep a little bit off because I am an aging woman. And then I'm just going to sweep it on the upper part of my cheek. And look at that beautiful glow that comes out. That is really pretty. And I'm just going to knock a little bit of it off. And you can go ahead and highlight all the way up into this area. I would not bring it onto your pores if you have a pore problem, because then you're going to accentuate. Another big mirror. So I'm going to use the mirror. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to bring it up so you can see what it will look like. Now, I don't have really deep wrinkles there. If you have deep wrinkles, you may want to stay away from that area because it might accentuate just slightly. But this is a very pretty highlight. And there you have it, all right? I hope you have enjoyed this. Sorry I got a little dark there for a moment for me. But I did want to take a moment to announce the winner of my Revolution The Emily Wants palette. I ordered an extra one to do a giveaway, and the winner is Tracy Gardner, and she doesn't have an Ulta in her area, so she couldn't buy this. So I'm happy to fulfill your wishes to have the Emily Wants palette. Please private message me with all of your information. You have 48 hours to get in touch with me, and I will get it right in the mail to you. And don't forget to comment and subscribe, because when we get close to that 100,000, you won't want to miss my giveaway. No, you won't. Okay, so that's it for me. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this look, and also let me know if you are creating looks on your own and what you feel about the palette. And are you younger? Are you older? Is it working for you? We love when you communicate in the comment section, because I am only one woman with dry, mature skin, and you may be 40 years old with oily skin and no wrinkles, or you may have large pores, and it's always good for you to help out in the comment section. All right, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe. We're living life here. Go out in the world and be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.